cloud, and it's fallen right in behind it. But the whole thing is rotating.
Wow. This time, though, the storms did not cooperate. Although promising so much, no tornado developed.
Boy, that's a beautiful sunset. Jeez. Well, doggone it, we came close. We were about as close as we could be. The only tornado warning issued. We were right there.
Day one was exciting, but nothing could have prepared them for the drama of Chase Day 2.
Conditions were perfect, hot and humid day, very strong south wind. I hadn't seen a south wind that strong, sustained south wind like that ever. It was at about 32 sustained, gusting to over 40 miles an hour. So it was a perfect setup for a tornado.
The group from KSTP proceeds west, follows the storm along Highway 36 just west of Springfield, Illinois. By 6 p.m., the action really heats up.
Lincoln has issued a tornado warning, effective until 6:15 p.m. for people in the following location.
Yeah, there it is. Look to the left.
What do you want to do?
Up and under the underpass.
Yeah, we'll use the underpass as protection.
10-4 to the underpass.
Either one of those two spots. Either that spot or that spot. There it goes. It's coming down. It's reaching down. Look at the cone of that thing. Coming all the way down. Getting rain wraps. We're not going to be able to see it. Look. Yeah, I can see it. Yep, right above it. Man, that's huge. The big one, John. The big one. There's debris. Debris. See the ground? Coming right at us. Here it comes, guys. It's getting closer. You can feel the inflow. It's now sucking here. The semi should not take off. Right. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, my God. Here it is. Car just got flipped over. Get in the ditch. Get down. Passing, there's debris on the ground. It's just passing over 36 right now. There's the funnel right above us. Let's go. Debris. Here it comes.
Nobody is hurt. The tractor-trailer which left the overpass is blown over, as is another truck. The crew dust themselves off and continues the chase. As they drive, more tornadoes sweep through the area. This one was captured on home video as it moved into the town of Decatur around 8:30 p.m. The KSTP crew follows the storms into Decatur. Elation at being so close to a twister is followed by a dose of reality. They get to see the destructive power of a tornado.
I've never been so scared in my life. I've never seen anything like that. It's just unbelievable. You just can't imagine the intensity of it.
It was not until the next day that the true extent of the tornado's destruction was evident. Dave was given this first-hand account of the storm.
And suddenly the hail stopped, and you could see a wall of heavy rain moving very rapidly toward the home. There was a sudden whoosh of wind. We could hear debris flying, and then stillness. And it lasted no more than 30 seconds.
These were not the only storms on that April night. Station WICD videotaped this tornado in Urbana, Illinois. Many chasers chased for years without seeing a single tornado. But in just 3 days, the group from KSPP saw enough action to last a lifetime. The day under the overpass will always live with them.
It was unbelievable. I can't remember ever having that kind of a thrill. It's a thrill that people can't imagine that they want to put themselves in front of a tornado. But if it's something that you've dreamt about all your life, you really want this to happen, and you can't believe it. You can't even believe it when you're hearing it. You can't believe it when you see it. And so when I first saw it, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that it was actually happening, and we had, 6 people there and 4 cameras on this one tornado. I thought, wow, why was this my day? But it was a thrill of a lifetime.
Climatologically, the best area for chasing tornadoes in May and early June is the Texas Panhandle. This year, storm chasers once again converged on that region, hoping for some panhandle magic. One of those was professional storm chaser Warren Fadley. Every spring for the last 10 years, he has made Amarillo, Texas, his home.
Every morning when I get up, there's that element of mystery, the enigma of not knowing what you're going to see that day. And no matter how bad of a year it is, no matter how bleak it looks, this is West Texas and anything can happen. And that unknown, every single day when I'm out here is really what keeps me going, because I know sooner or later I'm going to see something. It's just a matter of when and where.
On this day, Warren, as he does on many chase days, starts at the National Weather Service office in Amarillo. He checks the latest information for favorable conditions.
Hopefully if something forms back south and comes through here, we're in good shape. But if it moves up even further north, of course, there's a couple hours drive up there, so we'd have to be leaving the next hour to really have any chance of getting daylight.
For the next hour, Warren analyzes the latest meteorological information, temperature, dew points, and wind direction. Many agonizing decisions have to be made. Which storm should he chase today? Warren needs to place himself in the best position to capture tornado images on film. He takes a last look at the latest surface observations, then scans the horizon. It looks promising.
Pretty darn healthy in just a little bit of time. It's amazing. It's amazing how quick that can change. Go from relatively nothing to a substantial storm in just a few minutes.
The chase is on. Warren heads north on Highway 287 through the small Texas town of Dumas.
The initial towers are going up 5:14 p.m. There is a tornado watch, which is roughly from 20 miles south of Amarillo running up towards Dodge City. Right now, everything's looking just right, and it's still relatively early, so we've got a good chase on our hands right now.
Warren drives through the very flat West Texas countryside. The storms he's following start to collapse. A promising day is beginning to look like a bust. Just as Warren thinks of heading back to Amarillo, new storms develop.
This is living proof that you should never turn your back on a storm and give up until it's really gone. This thing looked like it was dying just about 15, 20 minutes ago. Now it's obviously becoming a lot stronger. You can almost see some low-level wrapping in here, so maybe we'll have some panhandle magic here.
Warren drives to a place where a tornado could develop.
Oh, look at that. That's space. We got a lowering. Look at it.
A mad scramble ensues. He places his film camera in the best position.
Boy, that could drop a tornado any second.
The wall cloud, the storm has just literally exploded in the last 20, 30 minutes. It was nothing, and it went right into it looks like a supercell wall cloud that you can see under the rain-free base. And there's been 1 or 2 very small areas underneath that look like circulation, but it's hard to tell. It may have been something, a downdraft.
This time a tornado did not develop, but it was oh so close.
See, a lot of people mistake those for tornadoes. But it's linear, it's moving out.
The day's chase has ended next to a noisy water pump in a field just outside Perryton, Texas.
I think we came pretty close to seeing it.
This day turned out to be typical for the season in the Texas Panhandle. For many tornado chasers, it was a very frustrating year.
Well, in all of my years chasing, which is almost 10 years out here, and from talking with other chasers who have been chasing out here for 20 years or more, this is probably the most inactive season that anyone can remember. For tornadoes, it's just been a total bust.
While the lack of tornado activity was discouraging for the chase community, it was good news for the residents of the area. While Warren cruised the plains looking for the classic storm to photograph, other chasers chased for very different reasons. Researchers from the University of Oklahoma in Norman spent their spring traveling through the same area as Warren. They had a different mode of transportation. They were in their Doppler radar on wheels. The radar looks into storms and searches for developing tornadoes. The researchers hope to get very close to a twister and capture its complete life cycle on radar.
This is the most impressive.
Yeah.
And it's got really strong building on the back side.
Yeah. No, this I can tell this one is probably, you know, you have that one back there, but this one's sort of out ahead.
The radar gives them an advantage over other chasers as they move through southwest Kansas.
That's why we have the radar out here to see, you know, exactly, you know, what the storm looks like, you know, before it puts out a tornado, and, you know, if this one has the characteristics to do it or whether it doesn't, and that's all part of the research that we're doing right now.
The radar scans the storms looking for possible cloud rotation.
And that's pretty good, and then up, as the storm's going up, you can see in the anvil, you see a lot of this mammatus and the stuff really hanging down. It's a lot of the vertical motion in the storm. The storm appears to be not moving that fast. It's sort of coming at us slowly and moving a little bit to the north.
Getting as close as possible to the storm gives researchers the best possible data.
So it's an interesting area. So far it hasn't done anything, but we're just going to scan it and watch it and hope that something does develop.
Scanning the clouds pays off.
Okay, now we're getting a little spin up there. That's getting good. That might be moving the direction here a little bit too much here.
Oh, yeah.
You said it's 2 kilometers away. It's got to be getting closer. The rest is good. I know.
Classic LP.
Oh, yeah.
There's actually a funnel off the ground. Okay, you're seeing just the big mesocycles wrapping up. You see the cone sticking, a little funnel sticking down at the cloud base. It's not extending down to the surface, but then occasionally off that dust floor you can see a funnel coming up, just dust rising right into it, and just a nice swirl. Couldn't ask for a better location to get a picture.
Dr. Josh Werman, the leader of the group, analyzes the tornado from the radar screen inside the truck.
How's it looking, Josh?
Looking okay, it's still a mile away. You guys keeping an eye on it visually?
Yes, we are. There's really not much cloud base rotation at this point we can see.
After 10 to 12 minutes, the tornado dissipates. The excitement level is still high. It's early afternoon, and it looks good for other developments. As the researchers move, an impressive dust devil develops right on the side of the road.
Perfect location again. That's definitely very interesting. Keeps going.
Not very far away.
No, it's not very far. That's right where the road where we came from. We might actually have to bust a little far south to get out of its way.
The researchers scan a new storm to the west.
You can still see some circulation on the ground there. Oh my God, look at that. That's just wow.
The rear flank downdraft surges toward the Doppler on wheels. Winds gusting up to 70 miles an hour slam dirt and sand into everything.
It was a great day because that's the closest tornado we've gotten with radar data, and it was a more representative tornado. Last year we got a couple very large ones, but they're not representative of typical tornadoes.